we have a very big question to be solved today in front of us, which is where do you stop making to forecast? And we cannot take a risk to answer this question incorrectly, because if we do so, we will be either sitting on months of inventory which we cannot sell, or quoting lead times that send customers to a faster competitor. This decision has a name, it has also a framework, and most organizations make it by accident, not by design. Hi guys, episode 1 we built the SCOR map. Episode 2 we covered or decoded the layer 1 and layer 2 for plan and source. Today we are going to talk on make and deliver, the two pillars your customer actually sees. So when we talk about make is simply where your raw materials become finished products. The most important decision in make is which of these three strategies you are running. And most organizations never choose strategy consciously. So when we talk about make to stock, you produce basis on your forecast. You hold the inventory and you deliver quickly to the customers. But there is a risk of high inventory if the forecast fails or goes wrong. Make to order is when you produce in front of the PO. There is kind of no risk of forecast, zero speculation on part of inventory, but it comes with longer lead times and the customer has to wait. Engineer to order, the entire design and engineering is done per order. This has maximum optimization and customization. It comes with longest lead time and it is used for unique products only. See, most organizations default to make to stock without thinking, not because it is the right strategy, but because it is the familiar one. But that default will come with a cost if you do not use the right strategy. Let's talk about the most important point in make, the customer order decoupling point, the CODP. This is the exact point in your production process where you stop making to forecast and start making to actual customer orders. See, if you put everything upstream of this point, you are speculating too much and making based on what you think will be ordered. See, if you put everything downstream, you are then responding, making because a real order exists. The CODP is not fixed. You choose where it sits. And that one choice will determine your entire inventory profile and your lead times to the customer. If you move it upstream toward engineer to order, lead times will get longer, inventory investment will drop, forecast dependency drops. It is right for low volume, high variability and configurable products. If you move it downstream toward make to stock, lead times will get shorter, but your inventory cost increases, forecast accuracy becomes very critical, and this is right for high volume, predictable and standardized products. Now there are two failures in CODP. If you put CODP too far upstream, lead times are so long that customers go to competitor who has got this stock. You are working on efficiency, but you are losing the market. If CODP too far downstream, you are producing everything to forecast, and if in the meanwhile demand shifts, then you'll have to sit on mountains of inventory, your cash will be trapped and your margins will erode. Now, the deliver pillar. This is the only pillar your customer experiences and sees. Let us talk about perfect order fulfillment. There is a world-class benchmark for this, which is covering 4 conditions and going 95% and above. The 4 conditions are: the order has to be complete, on time, undamaged and correctly documented. So the achievement rate for world-class organizations over here is 95% and above. Let us talk about OTIF, on time in full. The combined metric. Not on time is a fail, not in full is also a fail. Both must be met every single time. Order cycle time. From order received to customer delivery. This is the number your customer compares against your competitors, whether you measure it or not. And the future orders depend on that. Cost to deliver. See, in this, total landed cost per unit is delivered or calculated. Most operations teams cannot give you this number precisely. It sits across too many budget lines to be visible, and you have to put a lot of effort to get the landed cost. One of my favorites. See, last mile, the thing most operations people don't understand about last mile is it is not a logistic problem, it is a brand problem. A customer who receives a damaged box does not blame the carrier, they are going to blame the brand. That distinction matters more than most supply chain teams realize. We check 3 failure modes which kill the trust of the brand. One is wrong tracking updates. The customer expected delivery at 2 p.m. There is no update, no communication, 6 p.m. and the customer is still waiting. The customer is not going to check the product quality. It is irrelevant. The experience over here for the customer is the broken promise. Damaged packaging. Product inside is fine, but the box is dented. Customer will click the photograph and put it on social media. That image is your brand now. Missed delivery window, adds 3 to 5 days. Customer cancels. Every subsequent order is second guessed. Trust is not rebuilt easily. Now let us take a systems view how these are all interconnected. See, make and deliver do not operate independently. Every deliver failure tracks back to a decision made earlier in the chain. The failure one we talk about is the handoff disconnect. Production completes on time, but nobody booked the freight. Product is sitting in the warehouse. Customer delivery is missed. Deliver gets blamed for a coordination failure. So the pain is with the production, the source, the make, the deliver, which goes to the customer. That's what we are going to connect over here. Failure 2, CODP miscalculation. The wrong make strategy for the product. That is going to be counted over here. Either too much inventory or lead times too long. Deliver inherits that problem on every single order. Failure 3. Plan did not signal a demand spike. So the make could not respond to it. Deliver promises what does not exist. Customer experience fails and deliver gets blamed for a planned decision. See, the customer sees deliver. The root cause lives in plan or source or make. SCOR over here forces you to trace the failure to the right pillar and not just the most visible one, so that you can change this and put your plan, source, make intact. So this is the table which we can go through and put it into practice practically to understand where the problem lies. This table is the practical tool from this episode. Okay, there are kind of 6 symptoms in front of you. Each one points to a root cause pillar. You can take it into your operations review from tomorrow. When you see the lead times is longer than competitors, before you add production capacity, check your CODP position. You may be running make to stock items as make to order without realizing it. And I can say in this way as well, both inventory high and service levels low at the same time. That pattern almost always means plan is disconnected from make. The demand signal is not flowing through correctly. Pick your top symptom from this table. Now trace it upstream. That is your starting point. You start from there. So before we end over here, I want you to identify one product in your portfolio and check on this UDP where it is sitting. Is it in the right place for that product's demand pattern, or did it end up there by kind of default? If you cannot answer that question confidently, you have found your starting point where you have to start thinking. Please understand, CODP is not a theoretical concept. It is sitting inside your operations right now, making decisions for you and deciding your business. The question is whether you make that decision or whether it makes itself. So guys, here is make and deliver for you layer 1 and layer 2. Please subscribe. A new episode is going to come every week. The next episode we are going to talk about layer 1, layer 2 of return and enable. Comment what is your current perfect order fulfillment rate. I'll try to read it and comment on that from my end, or take a video especially on that particular comment. So this is SCM Decoded for you. Real operations, deep theory decoded. Thank you. Bye-bye.